Yeah, I have an option. Yes.
Okay. Then I want to come. Yeah. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we start our study of Sri Brahma Samhita prayers offered by Brahmaji. We'll start with our Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna-prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-vedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langayate girim yakrupathamam, Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam, Paramanandam Madhavam. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let me share. Okay, I'm able to share. That's good. So, we are studying from Brahmaji's prayers in the Brahma Samhita. And last time we discussed one of the very beautiful verses. Again, all are very beautiful, but this one, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokyanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindam ādi-puruṣaṁ tamaham bhajāmi. Where Brahmaji says that the saintly persons whose eyes are anointed or tinged with the salve of love, they always see Shama Sundara, who is Achintya Gunaswarupam, who is inconceivable, innumerable attributes within their heart. And today we are going to continue with text 39, where Brahmaji says, Rāmādi-mūrtiṣu kalā-niyamena tiṣṭhan nānāvatāram akarod bhuvaneṣu kintu Kṛṣṇaḥ svayaṁ samabhavat paramaḥ pumān govindam ādi-puruṣaṁ ahaṁ bhajāmi. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Kṛṣṇa, and the different avatāras in the world in the form of Rāma, Nṛsiṁha, Vāmana, etc. as his subjective portions. So now here, a very small purport, and we can quickly read this. The subjective portions as the avatāras like Rama, etc. appear from Vaikuntha Loka, and his own form Kṛṣṇa manifests himself with Braja in this world from Goloka. That is the distinction between the other avatāras who appear. They appear from Vaikuntha, and Kṛṣṇa, when he himself comes, he comes from Braja or Goloka Vrindavan. The underlying sense is that Krishna Chaitanya, identical with Kṛṣṇa himself, also brings about by his appearance the direct manifestation of Godhead himself. So here Brahmaji is offering his prayers, and when he is glorifying him, he says, Rāmādi-mūrtiṣu kalā-niyamena tiṣṭhan nānāvatāram akarod bhuvaneṣu kintu. So, Rāmādi-mūrtiṣu, there are innumerable incarnations that come in. They are existing everywhere, including in the spiritual world as well as in the material world. And that's what the first line says, Rāmādi-mūrtiṣu. So there are, as in the translation, it says Rāma, Nṛsiṁha, Vāmana. And there are so many innumerable incarnations that Kṛṣṇa appears in, and they appear kalā-niyamena tiṣṭhan, by the order of plenary portions. So, as from the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that in the first canto, third chapter, when Vyasadeva describes many different incarnations, but in that also he also mentions that there is no limit to how many incarnations are existing there. So he says that just like from a great reservoir of water, there are many or innumerable rivulets of water come. In the same manner, Krishna being the supreme reservoir of all incarnations, there are innumerable incarnations in different categories, different form, are continuously coming, appearing. And there is no limit to them. So they are unlimited and innumerable. But in order to plenary portions, then it also mentions that एतेच अंशकला पुंसा कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयं इंद्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं हृदयन्ति युगे युगे. But एतेच अंशकला, amsha and kala. So some of these are direct incarnations of Krishna and or the direct plenary portions, and then there are kala also, the plenary portions of the plenary portions of Krishna. But they are unlimited. But Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. But Krishna is himself the supreme personality of Godhead, who is the source of all these incarnations. And these incarnations come as in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham परित्राणाय साधुनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय samabhavat yuge. So for different purposes, these different incarnations are continuously coming from Krishna himself. And all these nānāvatāram, unlimited avatar, akarod bhuvaneṣu. So in different planetary systems, different worlds, including the spiritual world as well as in the material world. So in the spiritual world also there are many incarnations appear of Krishna. Actually, in Srimad Bhagavatam, I was referring to a couple of verses here. When Krishna is in Mother Devaki's womb and all the devatas come near the place where Vasudeva and Krishna are kept by King Kamsa. So they offer these beautiful prayers where they say that Masya Krishna Nṛsiṁha Varaha Hamsa Rājanya Vipra Vigodeshu Rutavatara Pampasi Nastribhuvanam Chayada Yathadunesha Bharam Bhohar Yaduttamam Vandananti. So they say that, O Supreme Lord, O Controller, you have previously accepted incarnations as fish, Matsya, or horse, or tortoise, Nṛsiṁha, boar, swan, Ramachandra, Parshuram, among the demigods, Vāmana to protect entire world. So there is no limit. So even devatas also know some incarnations and they are offering these prayers to Krishna. But they are saying this as Krishna, you have appeared or you have accepted these different incarnations. So these different incarnations we can touch briefly about on these different incarnations. So these different incarnations, they are categorized in the beginning in Chaitanya Charitamrita. They are very beautifully described. They are Prakash or Prabhava Prakasha and Vaibhava Prakasha, and also Vilasa incarnations. So the Prakasha incarnations are basically Krishna himself expands in his original same form in unlimited incarnations. So the example being when during the Ras Leela, when Krishna is dancing with the gopis, so he expands himself in the same form as two-handed form with holding float and bluish complexion with peacock feather in so that he can dance with each and every single gopi. So that each gopi thinks that she is personally associating with Krishna and Krishna is only with her. And there are innumerable gopis and Krishna expands himself into the same exact form in innumerable Krishnas with each of the gopis. So there is no difference between each Krishna form there. So those forms are called as Prakasha incarnations or Prakasha form, Prakasha Vigraha. The same example we can see when in Dwarka, when Krishna married to 16,108 wives, when Narada Muni came to Dwarka, and when he saw or he wanted to see how Krishna is dealing with his all wives, so he visited all the palaces of Krishna, where he saw same Krishna with the same form, performing different rituals, different pastimes with each of his wives. There was no difference between all these forms. They are exactly same as the original Krishna, and they are called as Prakasha incarnations or Prakasha Vilas, Prakasha form, Prakasha Vigraha. But when Krishna expands himself, when there is a slightly difference between the other form, then that is called Vilasa incarnation or Vilasa Vigraha. And the first Vilasa incarnation is Balaram, Lord Balaram or Baldev, where there is no difference between Balaram and Krishna as they are. The only difference is that Balaram is golden in complexion, while Krishna is blackish. So with those differences, that's why they are called as. So Krishna is not expanded in his original same form, but there is slight difference between between Balaram and him, and that is just the complexion and their garments. So that incarnation, those are called as Vilasa incarnations. And there are innumerable Vilasa incarnations. The original source of all those Vilasa incarnations is Lord Balaram. So then it is mentioned that from Balaram, the first Chaturvyuha comes. So, and then from the Chaturvyuha, then there are other secondary Chaturvyuha, they are numberless, innumerable, not one. The original Chaturvyuha in Goloka Vrindavan is, as we saw in the beginning of the Brahma Samhita, where there is a description of the Goloka Vrindavan. The four directions of the Shvetadvipa are occupied by this first original Chaturvyuha. And from them comes innumerable other Chaturvyuhas, the quadruple incarnations, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Aniruddha and Pradyumna. From these four incarnations, Chaturvyuha, also there are three Vishnu incarnations come. And these three, so three each, so 4 times 3 makes 12. So these 12 are also the presiding deities or the dominating deities of each month from the Vedic calendar. So each month in the Vedic calendar actually is controlled, or there is a presiding deity, predominating deity for that month. Just like Kartika, as we popularly know, is also called as Damodar Mas. So the presiding deity of Kartik Mas is Lord Damodar. And there are other incarnations also. But when there is a Adhika Mas comes, that presiding deity is Purushottama himself. Purushottama. That's why it is called Purushottama Mas. So these different names are the same as when, if you remember, when we put tilak on our body at different places, the 12 different places, all these names we recite, Om Keshavaya Nama, Om Narayana Nama, Om Madhavaya Nama. So all these 12 names or the 12 Vishnu incarnations are actually these 12 incarnations. They are coming from the Chaturvyuha, and they are the presiding deities of the 12 months. Then there are also different incarnations in the Vaikuntha planet. There are 24 different categories of Vishnus, and they are all four-handed Vishnus, and they are based on the different paraphernalia they are holding in their hands, the combination of the Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. So all these four things that they are holding in their four hands, but the placement of these four things in their hands, they are in different hands, and based on that they are 24 different combinations, and that's why there are 24 different categories of Vishnus. So there are innumerable Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual planet itself, that these all different types of Vishnus are residing there. And then in the Goloka Vrindavan, the highest topmost planet in the Vaikuntha Loka, or the spiritual planet, is called Goloka Vrindavan, which is divided into three. That first one is Gokula, then Mathura and Dwarka. So the original Kṛṣṇa, which is two-handed form, in the cowherd boy form, that resides in the Gokula. And then the Vasudeva Kṛṣṇa is in Mathura and Dwarka. So the original Kṛṣṇa is just the cowherd boy playing flute with two-handed forms. But Vasudeva Kṛṣṇa is four-handed Narayana form, and he accepts himself, he works in the form of a Kshatriya. And that Vasudeva Kṛṣṇa actually is born in the womb of Devaki. But at the same time, the Kṛṣṇa, that is the original Kṛṣṇa, is born in the womb of Yashoda. And when Vasudeva took the Vasudeva Kṛṣṇa to Devaki, then they the original Kṛṣṇa took over it, and then the pastimes in Vrindavan are performed by the Kṛṣṇa as a cowherd boy. That is the original Kṛṣṇa in Goloka Vrindavan. But that Kṛṣṇa doesn't do any killing or any harm. So whenever there is a killing of demons, that Vasudeva Kṛṣṇa takes over, and he is the one who is killing the demons, even in Vrindavan. So these are different types of incarnations, and there is a lot more that very beautifully described when Lord Chaitanya himself describes all these different types of incarnations to Sanatana Goswami. And then, so these are all Vishnus, or different incarnations, Prabhava and Vilasa, Prakasha and Vilasa, in the spiritual planet. But there are when in the material creation, so for material creation, maintenance and annihilation, there are also different incarnations, and those are categorized in six different categories. The first one is Purusha incarnation. So the three Purusha avataras. So the first is Mahavishnu, or also called as Karanaloka Vishnu, from whose bodily pores all the universes come out. Then he enters in each of the universe, which is half filled with water, as a Garbhodaka Vishnu, and then he also enters as a third Purusha incarnation, as Kshirodaka Vishnu, in each and every atom and in the heart of each and every living entity, as Kshirodaka Vishnu. So these are the three Purusha incarnations. Then there are also Yuga avataras. In each different yugas, there are Kṛṣṇa appears in different Yuga avataras. So in each yuga, he takes different color forms. So in Satya Yuga, the Lord, he appears as white in four-handed form. In Treta Yuga, he appears in red complexion, Rakta, Shveta, Rakta, Kṛṣṇa and Pita. So, and then in Treta Yuga, he appeared in Dwapar Yuga, Kṛṣṇa appears in the bluish complexion, dark blue complexion, wearing yellow garments. And then in Kali Yuga, he appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in golden complexion. So Kṛṣṇa Varnam Tusha Kṛṣṇa, Sanga Panga Saparshadam, Yagnai Sankirtane Praya, Yajanti Sumedasa, where he propagates the Sankirtan Yajna for the benefit of these people in Kali Yuga, which do not know how to worship. And so he gives us the best method, or the simplest method, how to worship Kṛṣṇa. He appears as his devotee, and then he is the one who gives us this Sankirtan Yajna. And the intelligent person takes up this process. So these are Yuga avataras. Then each Manvantara, he appears as Manvantara avatara. So those are Manvantara incarnations. Then to perform different pastimes, which popularly known as Dashavataras. So he takes incarnations as Leela avatars to perform different Leela. And those are the popularly known as Dashavataras, where he comes in the form of fish or Matsya avatara, Kurma, Varaha, Nṛsiṁha, Vāmana, so on and so forth. So these Dashavataras, he appears as to perform different Leela so that we can relish those different pastimes. The devotees can relish those pastimes and then they can converse among themselves, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Machchitta Madhyata Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam, Kathayantascha Mam Nitya, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. So my devotees, they relish conversing about me and then they take very great bliss out of conversation of my different pastimes. So these different pastime or avataras are called as Leela avataras. And then there are also Gunavataras as a controlling deities of the different gunas, Sattvagun, Rajagun and Tamogun. Where as a controlling deity of Sattvagun, he comes as Vishnu. As a controlling deity of Rajogun for creation, he appears as a Brahmaji, and then for controlling deity as of Tamogun or the mode of ignorance, he appears as Lord of Destruction, or controlling deity of Tamogun as Lord Shiva. And then there are also different Shaktavesha avatars where he comes in as empowered personalities like Prithu Maharaj, who is Shaktavesha avatar. He comes as empowered personality to propagate his own disciplic succession as well as to uh, protect the earth and extract all the valuable things from earth in the form of cow and give it to the citizens, including devatas and all different forms of citizens. So these are different types of incarnations that we have in the material creation. But in the third line it says, Krishna svayaṁ samabhavat paramaḥ pumān. So there is some misconception we always hear that Krishna is incarnation, eighth incarnation of Lord Vishnu. But here Brahmaji himself is saying that Krishna svayaṁ samabhavat. But Krishna himself appears samabhavat. And he is paramaḥ pumān. He is paramaḥ pumān. He. Ya means he. So he is the supreme person. So he is not mentioning that Krishna as incarnation, but he is saying that Krishna himself appears also in this planet. So Krishna actually is the source of all incarnations. As in the very beginning, Brahmaji said, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karana. So Krishna is not incarnation of Vishnu, but Krishna Swayam Samabhavat. He himself appears also in this life. But other incarnations, he said that rāmādi-mūrtiṣu kalā-niyamena tiṣṭhan, nānāvatāram. So other incarnations, he says that they are kalā-niyamena, they are incarnations of Krishna. But Krishna is Swayam Samabhavat. He himself comes in this planet, on this planet also to perform pastimes. And he is the paramah-puruṣaṁ. He is the supreme source. And his name is also Govinda. So because he is a cowherd boy, he is the person who gives pleasure to cows and senses also. And he is ādi-puruṣaṁ. He is the original person. There is no source of Krishna. Rather, he is the source of everything, and including all his incarnations, including the material and spiritual creation. Tam ahaṁ bhajāmi. To that Krishna, I offer my obeisances. So I worship that Govinda, the supreme primeval Lord. So I think it is 9:27 now. So I'll stop here and then we can take some reflections and questions. So I just took this opportunity to briefly discuss about different incarnations and see what type of incarnations are there. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Nānāvatāram. Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Prabhuji, you mentioned about Karnodaka Vishnu and that three forms. Can you repeat again, Prabhuji? Can you repeat it again?
Yes. So the three Vishnu incarnations or the Purusha avatāras for the material creation. The first one is Mahavishnu or Karanodakashayi Vishnu. So which is lying in the four-handed Yoga Nidra form on the border of spiritual world and material world that is separated by Viraja river, or that is also called as Karana ocean. So that's why it is called Karana Udaka Shayi Vishnu. Udaka means water.
So Mahavishnu and Karnodaka Vishnu are same, right?
Yes. So mostly Karanodakashayi Vishnu is referred as Mahavishnu.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the second Vishnu is second Purusha incarnation is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. So from Karanodakashayi Vishnu's bodily pores, when he is breathing, innumerable universe come out. And then he enters in each universe and he is lying on the bed of Ananta Shesh, that half-filled universe, as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. And the third one is called Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, who he expands further and enters as Paramatma in each and every atom and each and every living entity's heart. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. So that is called Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. So these are the three Purusha avatāras.
So in the 14 planetary system, they're dividing, right? All three Vishnus are dividing, right?
No. The 14 planetary systems are in one single universe. So Karanodakashayi Vishnu is outside the universe. From him, all the universes come. In each universe, I think we saw this picture before, but let me try to share. In each universe, there is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Actually, from his navel, a lotus flower sprouts, and Brahmaji is born on that top of that lotus flower. And along those lotus flower stem are the 14 planetary systems. That makes sense? Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji, very nicely. I really liked how you connected that all the different incarnations of Krishna are different ones in Vedic calendar. That was really nice.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, those are all given in the Shastra. And actually, if you see our Gaudiya calendar, for each month that name comes, that
Yes.
this is, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. And those are the same names what we chant when we put tilak on all different limbs.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
And this is really a very deep subject matter. So what we discuss is at a very brief level.
That's what Prabhuji sometimes when you're telling, I understood after that, okay, Kshirodaya Vishnu and Garbhodaya Vishnu is releasing all the universes and Kshirodaya Vishnu is giving the, in everyone's heart, Kshirodaya Vishnu.
Paramatma.
Paramatma has a Paramatma. That I know, but Garbhodaya Vishnu and Karnodaka Vishnu, I'm little confusing.
Okay. Yeah, let me share quickly. Make this baby little bit. Anyway, so here, if you see, let me scroll down. Yeah. So this Karana ocean, you see, on the top. So this is Karanodakashayi Vishnu. And from his bodily pores, there are many universes are coming. And then if you see here, in each universe, this is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And then Kshirodakshai Vishnu is not shown here, but there is Shvetadvip planet in the material universe, and then he is also residing on the Shvetadvip. Kshirosagar.
Sure. Yeah, but today's topic is very beautiful. It's depthful. And it's very nourishing, Prabhuji. Whenever you're telling, it's very nourishing.
Thank you, Radha.
Thank you, Radha-Rañjana Prabhu. Yeah.
Oh, I think we'll stop here. Okay? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. वाचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।